In addition to people requesting the Project 2025 video, I've been getting requests to react to some other random Paul clips. Someone in the comments suggested that we watch this video that's on screen here. So before we get into Project 2025, we're going to preview this take from Paul, which is kind of wild. So are you ready to get into it?
Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Is there any final solution to the stupids problem? Eugenics. I don't think you can guarantee that no stupids will exist, but there are certain genes.
I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, eugenics, buddy. Paul's being sarcastic though. He can't mean this, right? This is just sarcasm. You think?
No, of course not.
Are you familiar with what we're watching right now? Have you seen this?
There was a time where I watched all of his content because there was nothing else on. So yeah, I've seen this. I don't remember.
This was, I want to turn that off. This was 8 months ago. So this was like in the heyday of his Reddit meltdown. This is like June of 2024.
Genes probably that are tied to lower IQ, lower spatial awareness and stuff. I'd be perfectly fine in the future with some ethics. Making people so that they don't have to live under the veil of ignorance for the rest of their lives. I think that would be it.
The veil of ignorance. I think we should...
weeding out people so they don't have to live under the veil of ignorance. But
using
eugenics.
Ethical eugenics to...
Does he elaborate?
I don't know, but I think he misconstrues ignorance for stupidity, right? Because...
yeah.
You know, there's different types of intelligence, we could say. And some people are maybe born a bit more enfeebled mentally than others. But that's not the same thing as being ignorant, right? Ignorant is just not knowing something. And a lot of that is like up to the person as they live their life, how ignorant they are, how open to learning new shit and being corrected they are, right?
Right.
So I just don't think even if we were going to entertain eugenics without any sort of ethical arguments against it, it wouldn't solve the problem of ignorance, right? Because there would still be ignorant people. Because ignorance isn't passed down genetically, it's passed down environmentally through your teaching the child, through the nurture, not the nature.
As of either today, when this video was recorded, he does go into some sort of lecture about Common Core, where he singles out some person in the chat and talks about how intelligence is hereditary.
In what we're watching right now? No,
in the Paultergeist he posts today. He mentions at least that a higher chance of intelligence is hereditary, the possibility.
Does he respond at all to us saying hey, the Department of Education aren't the ones who do the curriculum? Does he answer for that at all?
The video, if one of his mods panics and sends a bunch of short messages saying, Paul, one of the hater subs has a video. Have you seen it? Paul. Not to name names, but
that, not to name names, but that polisher who is sort of,
the type.
He was like, hey, coward, why don't you go fight Paul on Discord? I'm happy to talk to Paul on Discord. I don't have a problem with that. Paul blocked me, though. Not on Discord, but on Reddit. So it's I feel like it would be inappropriate for me to go seek him out on another platform if he's already expressed basically that he doesn't want to contact me. And I know that either Paul or Snoot or one of their polishers have been on alts in the hater subs. They have me preemptively blocked on all their alts. So they don't want to talk to me. I'm not going to try to force a conversation with them. I'm fine making my criticisms from here, where it's fun. If Paul does want to talk to me on Discord, he can unblock me on Reddit and let me know. And I'm happy to do that and work that out. I do only am able to do this at 10 p.m. at night. So, which is when all these are recorded. And when I do most of my editing, because despite Paul's accusations of being a NEET, I am not a NEET, and I have a very full schedule. But if Paul would like to have a conversation on Discord, I'm happy to do that. We'll see. But that's just all secondhand from what, that idiot said to me, is that why don't you go DM Paul? He's begging people to go on Discord. It's like, shit.
He is. He's like
Yeah.
like chomping at the bit to like have somebody argue with him on Discord. He will even have like it live on his ideology where he calls him up on his other phone. But he doesn't do his like 3 a.m. streams anymore.
Yeah. We can do it if he wants to. He can let me know.
Just a benefit to humanity in general.
We can debate eugenics.
I was hoping he was talking about Vosh. I forgot.
We can debate how many people were killed by George Washington in the Whiskey Rebellion. Let's have that debate.
Because I got to tell you guys, the 5 or 6 of us that are dragging the rest of these fucking monkeys through the muck.
Us?
So Paul considers himself one of the 5 or 6 non-idiots on the planet, and the rest of us are just
few.
the rest of us are just being dragged by him.
Does Snoot count as one of the enlightened few?
I don't know. I feel like
No.
he does a lot of the dragging through life in that relationship.
That, like time we watched him drag himself across his like yard to empty the well or something.
To pump the well. Yeah, I do remember that back
with Sky POV,
where he's like lurching through the weeds.
Every movement he made was just like
talking shit about his landlords who were probably like watching it live. Like
they most likely were. He said he was a YouTuber.
Maybe is that on Paultergeist or his original channel?
Ideology.
Well, it's back now. So maybe, that's the other thing too. Like there's a gold mine of shit to look through on there. So back to eugenics.
Dude, we're not getting very far, man.
I disavow.
Reducing stupidity would not decrease suffering.
No.
Because the ignorant are the happiest.
Right.
What a cliche.
Reducing stupidity would not reduce suffering because the ignorant are the happiest. Quander that.
Like Confucius say.
Dude, she's just stoned out of her mind, right? Like I should catch
so.
up actually. Where's my
you should
my buddy
you should
over here.
Load up on have one for the viewers too.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, well,
they're good.
I don't know. If they could be happy and not
smoke them if you got them, I guess.
Not negatively.
Not you though, Paul.
Affect every aspect of my existence with their fucking stupidity. I wouldn't be for it. But I'm sorry, your ignorance being bliss doesn't mean that you get to push your ignorance into my backyard and make me have to fucking pay for it and deal with it.
These are wild. I didn't realize there were so many wild takes. This wasn't even from that long ago.
With it, bro.
This is from Ideology.
No, this is from 8 months ago.
I'm straight up
Paultergeist.
for eugenics, bro.
There we go.
I don't think human beings should be rolling the dice on birth.
I'm straight up for eugenics. I don't think people should be rolling the dice on birth. I just feel like he doesn't, like, he's thinking of something else when he's talking about eugenics, right?
I think he's talking about...
Because there are ways...
He wants to weed out all the non-Ubermensches,
so it's
scholars of the world.
So he's not talking about like yeah, that's true, because he's talking about like weeding out less desirable genetic traits, not even like stopping diseases or whatever, or making people not as...
Then he says ethical eugenics.
Yeah.
Eugenics. But also, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he just would be okay with like the designer babies. Since he says that you shouldn't be rolling the dice on birth.
It's true.
What a funny thing to be for eugenics when you also deny the existence of Anne Frank.
The evidence is stacking up. There's people now who just think he's a Nazi. Again, for the 100th time, I don't think he's a Nazi. He's just dumb. He's like the type of person that the Nazis try to get as a useful idiot, I think. He doesn't understand like the context of eugenics.
Of European countries already have de facto eugenics laws, pro-eugenics laws.
Do they?
Like, do me a favor, go to Norway and find someone with Down syndrome. Find a Norwegian.
I don't want to go to Norway to find this out. Let's go to the internet.
Norway is beautiful. Wait, hold on. So what are we looking up? We're looking up Norwegian eugenics laws. He's saying that Norway already has eugenics. Like eugenics in the Nordic countries. Between 1923 and 1941, Nordic governments enacted marriage limitations, sterilization, castration, and abortion laws intended to curb reproduction by mentally ill and disabled people and inheritable diseases and social undesirables.
What a ripe time in European
is this? Yeah, 1923 to 1941. It's the golden age of eugenics, you could say. The eugenic sterilization laws enacted in all Nordic countries were seen as tools of social engineering and as a way to provide cost savings in welfare programs. All of the laws were repealed by the mid-1970s, and having applied for nearly 4 decades, they resulted in as many as 170,000 sterilizations, the overwhelming majority of which were performed on women. The duration of these laws for each country was Denmark, 1929 through 1967, Finland, 1935 through 1970, Iceland, 1938 through 1975. I've actually been to Iceland. It's a beautiful place. Norway, 1934 through 1977. So I mean, they're not still built into the laws, right? They're saying that the eugenics laws were repealed in the 70s.
Norwegian man or woman that has Down syndrome. I'll save you the time and money. You won't find a single one. Babies with Down syndrome are not born in Norway. Oh, no. No, type a whole sentence or you're banned.
Steve haven't changed a thing.
I just love how this is what he's thinking about tonight. Or this night, back on a June night. I wonder if he got home from the barbecue and was like...
The barbecue heard all around the internet.
That time Paul went to a barbecue. Of the legend of that time. His back was bad, but he had some nice veggie burgers. It was great.
And then he got banned from OK Buddy DFF.
He did. He couldn't hang.
Later.
He got to. Well, who hasn't been banned terrorists. And then unbanned later from OK Buddy DFF at least once or twice.
True.
But it's like, what is he thinking of? Like, just randomly. And the fact that, like, he starts this out by saying, like, we'll get rid of all the dumb people, all the ignorant people, and also everyone with Down syndrome. Like,
convenient how he lists himself in amongst the 5 people.
The 5 or 6 chosen. I thought 20 good men was a stretch, but no, it's the 6 saviors of mankind. Paul and 5 other fat guys who are going to, like, drag us all. It's like
Paul, TJ, Scotty,
Elon Musk, like Trump. Oh. Like,
he does like Elon Musk.
That's the rumor. I have yet to see the evidence of him praising Elon Musk, though.
My Downs baby with a heart defect who's going to die at 22 is such a blessing.
What a heartless piece of shit.
Okay, let's imagine that you don't know your kid is going to have Down syndrome, okay? And your kid has Down syndrome and you do your best to give it a good life and it dies at 22 from its birth defect or whatever. And then you, like, that's a horrible thing, but you had this beautiful 20 years of this person that you loved and that loved you and that you depended upon each other and you raised them and then it was an inconvenience because they had Down syndrome, but you still found that rewarding because it's something that you made and loved and cared for. You know, there are still parents who choose not to abort kids with Down syndrome when they find that out. And I mean, that's their choice. I don't know if we get into the ethics of, like, if you know someone is going to be born disabled, and I don't know, I mean, like, are Down syndrome people still capable of feeling happiness and love and sadness and still experiencing things and still finding ways to contribute? Like, fucking, there's people with Down syndrome who work at grocery stores and shit. Like, I don't know. It's not like the end of the world. Like, you can still be a semi-productive member of society. Not that that should even matter, but you can still be like a fulfilled person and have Down syndrome, I feel. Or you can still be a fulfilled parent with a Down syndrome child and be thankful for having that child, even if you just have like a shorter time than most people do with their kids, you know? I don't know. I just think that this is such a bad take.
Sweden had eugenics until the 70s. They still do.
Sources, bro. Sources. Do I need to find another? Hold on. Let's just do this. Does Sweden still have eugenics? Compulsory sterilization in Sweden were sterilizations which were carried out between 1906 and 2013. I'm trying to find one thing that says anything. These are all from like decades ago. The legacy of eugenics in Scandinavia. Is this the type of kid that Paul wants to abort, do you think? Whatever. I don't see anything that says that Sweden still has eugenics laws.
Yeah, I'm finding nothing that says they do.
Yeah. So
They
Paul
did until like the 70s, and then like they paid out a shitload of money for like recompense for what they did, and they're sorry.
So as far as we can tell, Paul is lying about eugenics again for some reason. For some reason doing propaganda for eugenics.
He's going to find like the one case.
This is so crazy.
He's talking about the Iceland case, which is not Sweden.
No. Nor is it
Soft
Norway.
eugenics. It's just
It's soft
making,
eugenics.
it available and making it a cultural fucking norm for.
What does he mean? No. People can choose to sterilize themselves if they don't want to have kids voluntarily. That's not forced eugenics. That's not a eugenics law, right? Like everyone should have the right to sterilize themselves or not. Eugenics implies like there's social engineering to weed out an undesirable trait. That's not the same thing.
Women not to bring a Harlequin baby into the world and call it a blessing.
Dude, what? Like Harlequin babies are horribly deformed and die like shortly after being born. Isn't that the case?
Born with dragon scales and wings.
Yeah. Look.
Well, what? Oh God, why would you do this?
I'm just showing you.
Boss.
That's what it looks like, right? So, trigger warning, everyone, Harlequin babies show up. But I'm just saying, like, these are not, like, these kids die, like, right away, don't they?
Several weeks.
Oh, yeah, so I guess they do live.
Existence is probably agony. I got a summary of a thing from Cambridge.org about designer babies in Sweden.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm not going to pay the $50 to the fucking page.
Oh, my God.
But the summary is Sweden can be considered a relatively liberal European country when it comes to research. For example, it allows creating embryos for research purposes, yet the question of human germline genome modification has been approached with great caution. With the adoption of the Genetic Integrity Act in 2006, the Swedish legislature intended to enable some research related to gene editing technology while simultaneously placing bans on its use in clinical trials and clinical care, and providing criminal sanctions on these bans if they're violated.
In Europe, we have those people, but they are in homes. Yeah. They're not in homes here. They live among us.
People with Down syndrome? What? Like, does he want to, like, round up people with Down syndrome? Let me take that again. I'm going to, like, just listen to this whole... It's only a minute. I just want to see...
Backyard, make me
A
have to
minute of
fucking
dead
pay
air,
for it
yeah.
and deal with homes here. They live among. My Downs baby with a heart defect who's gonna die at 22 is such a blessing.
Do you think that's someone he actually knows that he's imitating?
I hope not.
Imagine you're someone with a Downs baby who doesn't knows this dude in your life, like, and you have no idea like what he does, and one day he tells you, "Oh, I'm a YouTuber," and then what if it's his landlord? Like, his landlord has a Down syndrome kid, and he's like, "I'm a YouTuber," and they randomly like turn on his channel and see this shit.
Sweden had eugenics until the 70s. They still do.
No, they don't. Sources.
Soft eugenics. It's just making
By soft eugenics, he means like people choose for themselves whether or not they want to have the kids they're having.
It available and making it a cultural fucking norm for women not to bring a Harlequin baby into the world. And
Okay. Nowhere in the world is it the norm to bring a Harlequin baby into it. Like, most Harlequin babies die, right? But the ones that don't, if they have a will to live and the people who had them have like a will to keep them alive, then like, what the fuck? Let them do it. Like, that's none of our concern, I don't know. Like,
call it a blessing.
People don't have Harlequin babies and call it a blessing. Not like here in America, where should I show the picture of the Harlequin baby one more time? Like, no one's like, oh fuck yeah, my baby has Harlequin baby syndrome. Just smoking in his backyard with his cup that probably whatever's in there, just it's all melted. It's been sitting in plastic for the last hour.
It's all ice.
In Europe, we have those people, but they are in homes. Yeah. They're not in homes here. They live among us.
Fucking, I don't think anyone who was born with Harlequin baby thing and has survived, like, is out and about, really. I don't know if they're able to, but if they are, who cares? People with Down syndrome have just as much of a right to participate in society as much as they can, just like everybody else does. I don't know. This is a bad take. This is a bad take. In Sweden, we lock them in fucking prisons. Not here. We just let them work at grocery stores. Like, what is he? He wants to. So, I wish America I wish America had fucking anti-Down syndrome laws. Those fucking Downies, they have too much privilege, I really feel like our society just encourages people to have Down syndrome babies. It's such a weird take.
All that Common Core he hates.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It's not vaccines that give people Down syndrome. It's Common Core. It's the Department of Education.
He does go on a rant about that.
Illiterate people that will believe anything that they're told by the strongest personality they can find on web.
Like how many rebels died in the Whiskey Rebellion. Like that. Just whatever the strong personality tells you, people will believe it, right? Like, the fucking Department of Education's a piece of shit. Oh yeah, actually the Department of Education is a piece of shit, TJ. Like, just these fucking slack-mouthed idiots who just repeat whatever, like, the most dominant person in their orbit thinks. Like that. Fuck those people, right?
Whatever fucking website or streaming platform or news.
Whatever fucking random neo-Nazi propaganda you happen to stumble upon in the algorithm that tells you Anne Frank didn't exist.
News organization will tell them exactly what they want to hear, and they will just spin their wheels in the mud for their entire lives.
Is he talking about people? How is eugenics going to solve that?
There's one person in the chat who has a good point.
Yeah.
IQ has white supremacist origins. I won't be comfortable using that as a metric for eugenics.
I'm whatever. IQ is not, it's not like the most important thing in the world. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but to Paul, it is. He says that TJ has read more books than he has.
Does that mean that TJ has a higher IQ?
According to Paul, I think he quantifies intelligence by how many books you've read.
That's true. Or how many books
he has a really huge standard about like reading a Harry Potter page and summarizing in his chat before you get banned. You got 10 seconds, bro.
To summarize a Harry Potter book?
Summarize Harry Potter page. You read a page, summarize it.
In 10 seconds?
In like a 10-second, before he gets like mad. And Othello or Pernod.
Is someone just supposed to have a page of Harry Potter with them? Like,
I haven't had Harry
like, just
Potter
pull it up. What if they're on their phone?
in a pisical copy for like 20 years.
his wife's over there. 78.
There are tons of people with Down syndrome in Norway. I know because I live there. No.
No, you don't know. I know.
There are some people who tell me there are Down syndrome people in Norway.
No, there aren't. Nope.
Is a lie, according to Paul. Wow. What is an American in his backyard in fucking, where was he? In the valley at night.
In the Central Valley, not like our valley, like the Central Valley in the
Central Valley
in Central, like fucking by Fresno and
discussing
shit.
eugenics in his fucking California backyard.
I feel like a lot of people in
people
Fresno probably discuss eugenics in their backyards.
I wouldn't be surprised. Imagine arguing with somebody. Whatever. Actually,
I'm a teacher in Norway, and I teach Down syndrome children. Nope. Doesn't exist. Nope. I'm a social worker in Norway, and I work with Down syndrome families. No, you don't. That's not true. Nope. Fake news. Fake news.
I'm going to go ahead and say no. I'm going to go ahead and say Norway is one of the places that functionally eliminated Downs.
Oh.
I'm going to say, you know what? I'm curious about something.
Population Down syndrome Norway.
I want to see
24.
Down syndrome statistics by country.
It's by country.
Down syndrome. In Norway,
They have
about 24.9 out of 10,000 babies are born with Down syndrome. But thanks to social inclusion programs, Norwegians with Down syndrome are doing well. This is just Dr. Solve. Who knows? Who knows what they're doing here? This is a lie, probably. These aren't as reputable.
I'm on
a source.
worldpopulationreviews.com,
Mm-hmm.
at least.
Yeah.
They have more Down syndrome people per 100,000 than America does.
Do they?
At least twice the amount.
In here, it's saying that there's 1 in every 700 births.
Yeah.
In the USA.
That's what the numbers say. 51 and a half for every 100K.
Right.
What year is yours at?
They're like the most recent ones.
How recent? His most recent.
2025.
Down syndrome population.org.
So it's about 1 in every 400 there. And it's 1 in every 700 here. So I think you're right. It is more common in Norway than it is here.
But they also have a smaller population. So that's even worse.
Well, yeah, I know, but that's true. But look, okay, so if 24.9% of 10,000 babies are born with it, you divide 10,000 by 24.9 to get 1 in every 401.6 babies are born with Down syndrome, right?
Right.
And in America, only 1 in 700 are born with Down syndrome.
Where is Norway?
Let's just...
On the World Health Organization.
Yeah.
.org.
Uh-huh.
I'll share the link in the chat.
Yeah, do that. That way I don't have to...
At the,
I have to...
Yeah,
births with Down syndrome per 100,000 live births.
Now scroll down. That graph. You're up to... No, stop. There's a slider bar at the bottom.
Uh-huh.
You're going to want to move it to N for Norway. And you're going to want to...
I know. I gotcha. Am I? Where's the United States, buddy? Where's America?
I don't think they exist. There's no data from Greece or Ireland or Kazakhstan or Poland or Turkey or Turkmenistan.
Oh, this is just the EU.
Yeah.
This is just the EU. But look, here's Norway, okay?
What does it say?
It says...
Read for those who are audioing this.
I will. 337 number per 100,000 live births. Let's just see who else has a lot of Down syndrome people. I don't know. Let's randomly do like Serbia or Portugal, Romania, Russia. Okay. So Norway actually has way more Down syndrome people than, hold on. Should we just randomly go until we can find one that has more Down syndromes than
Randomly choose China.
EU, bro? It's the EU.
Oh.
The EU.
The country that actually did
France.
eugenics.
Oh, Germany. Yeah, Germany was successfully able to keep their Down syndrome population down, I guess.
During a certain
Hungary.
20-year decade.
Hungary had a brief
section, right?
insurgence of Down syndrome, but then it went down. Norway. So Norway is like the reigning champion of Down syndrome in Europe is basically what we're getting from this.
Oh, choose Sweden also. He also likes Sweden.
Oh, he did say Sweden.
Oh, they are lower than Norway. Wow. GG.
Yeah, lower than Norway, but mid of the pack.
They beat.
What about the UK?
Good for them.
The UK has had a recent uptick in Down syndrome, but they're
all in Paul's chat.
They're second to Norway. What about Ukraine? Has pretty much been stagnant. The Netherlands, Iceland. You said I already have Iceland on here.
Iceland,
Israel.
They still practice it.
Italy.
Israel. Well, Palestine.
Is Israel part of the EU?
They don't. I don't think so.
Latvia.
I'm pretty sure they don't.
Lithuania. Oh, no. Look, Norway beats Latvia 337 to 301. Paul, you retard.
I am.
What is Paul's
Licking.
syndrome? Like, what's going on here? What makes someone so retarded to tell a Norwegian person in Norway observing Down syndrome with his eyes that he's wrong?
So the best part is that 8 months in the future, Paul, of this morning says he cannot stand anybody who is who is stupid and so confident about it. It really, like, bothers him.
No.
What could that mean for Paul?
Oh, man.
Maybe the transcript's up. Can I look it up? It should be by now.
What?
There we go. Control F confid.
There might be Downs babies born there every once in a while, but
It's like the Down syndrome capital of Europe, bro.
Here we go.
it is
You see what a
nowhere
waste of
near
time
as
that this
prevalent.
is for me. I just hate confident stupidity, and that is what we're dealing with.
When was this?
This morning, he's talking about, like, he was arguing with somebody about, like, they said, the person in chat was like, too much Common Core and standards are ruining, or not enough standards and are being applied in the schools where everyone's dumb. And he's like, no, there's too much standards. Do you know what Common Core is? And then the person didn't. And then he just, like, explained to them what Common Core was. And there's too much standards, which is why everyone is, like, stupider. And then that took like 15 minutes. And then he explained to his chat, this is what I'm talking about. I just hate it when people are just so confidently stupid. And this person right here, in the past,
Like Paul.
his worst enemy, like Paul, is talking about how
Norway has done away with Down syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah, they sure have.
We
They're
have.
the
What about
highest.
Kyrgyzstan? What about Luxembourg? What about Malta? Nope. Nothing. None of them. What about Denmark?
According to the WHO,
Nope.
they
Estonia?
are one of the highest.
Finland. Czechia. Czechia.
I'm clicking every
Austria.
country.
Azerbaijan. Albania.
They are the reigning champs.
They're the reigning king of Down syndrome, bro.
Man.
Monaco. Montenegro. North Macedonia. Wait. No.
Latvia was on par with them in
What about
2020, but
the
they've since gone down.
Yeah. Yeah, Latvia at one point they briefly dethroned the king, But other
COVID
than
killed
that,
them all.
Norway's been like the reigning champions of Down syndrome since at least the early 2000s.
Everybody is on a flat line except for like the UK and Norway.
I mean, like they're all up, they go up.
No, in
and
the
down.
last like 10 years, everyone's like in the same like
Switzerland,
range at the bottom.
Tajikistan. They're actually.
And Hungary, Latvia, Malta, UK, and Portugal.
You would think Tajikistan would be more Down syndrome-y, but no.
Hey,
Uzbekistan?
man.
I can't find a single country on here that has more Down syndrome than.
If you look at San Marino, it's already on your map. It's the high spike in 2019.
Oh,
They had a shitload
well, this is
for like
Latvia.
15 minutes.
Oh, this. No. Where are you?
Is
Look at
San
the
Marino
screen.
clicked on yours?
No.
Click
Oh
on
yeah,
it.
I did see that. I already clicked on them, and yeah, they did for a second, but then they went way down.
But that brings up the average, the bell curve. But Norway is
You
still
watch it,
the
buddy.
most.
Yeah, I know. Like
Man.
this. You got to be careful. There's way too many Nazi dog whistles in this episode.
Though to be
Because
fair,
it
it looks
is
like a
most
lot of
other
countries didn't start measuring this until like 1990. But
This is unreal.
Western countries.
this is
Not compared to the U.S. Absolutely not, dude. You might have met a Downs person over there.
Paul, go fuck yourself. There are more per capita Down syndrome people in Norway than the United States. I feel confident, given the 3 or 4 sources we've looked up, that that's true. That per capita, now, there are way more people in the United States, right, than in Norway. But per capita, there are more people with Down syndrome in Norway.
yes.
You might have met 1 or 2 in your life. They're not everywhere.
Paul, you've never left the fucking country, bitch. Like, how would you know? How do you know anything about what's anywhere? In the same way that you don't trust NEETs and incels to, like, give you advice on buying a car or whatever, I don't trust you to know shit about another country. You've never been to another country, bitch. Yeah, sooner, asshole. Like,
Wow.
Bring back natural selection. Natural selection we can't bring that back. We escaped natural selection. We
natural selection is ongoing, you dumb motherfucker.
escaped the state of nature as soon as somebody planted seeds and started mass farming more food than they could eat. Human beings escaped the cycle of death and degradation that is known.
We escaped death? What?
We did.
We escaped death. Wait. I thought that Down syndrome people were all going to die from heart disease at 20. That's not the escape of death.
Known as the state of nature as soon as the first.
We escaped the state of nature as soon as we planted the first crop.
Oh.
And you can't put that genie back in the.
Do
Did you know
crops
that
not
when a
wither?
hurricane comes and
Like,
fucks up, like, say, Louisiana or Texas?
yeah.
It doesn't actually matter because you're no longer at the whims of nature.
Crop failure doesn't exist.
Those 3 hurricanes that chased him out of Louisiana,
Mm.
he wasn't at the whim of nature. He just like left because he was just getting tired of, the humidity. It wasn't nature.
So we killed evolution the moment we planted a crop. People have evolved since then, right? Like, we're still evolving. Every generation there are differences in mutate, whatever.
Socially
How about
kinda
the fact that
stagnated, but
like fucking viruses evolve? Like, you can. Why am I? Oh my god. I said too many stupid things. I'm dying. Like.
no, he's hitting his spliff too much.
Oh my! This is hard to watch.
Water down the wrong pipe.
Oh, it's not.
bet.
It's not 20 cigarettes down the wrong pipe. It's water
No, it
down the
wasn't.
wrong pipe.
It wasn't smoking for an hour and a half.
Mayday.
I gotta stop drinking so much fucking water.
Mayday. Water down the wrong pipe. Oh, we're good.
I hate
I
that
know
he.
he's reading, but it's just funny that he's just sitting there, blinking slowly into the camera.
Like, The most
intellectual giant.
fucked up Dumbledore that's ever existed. Like,
Oh, don't say that. He'll get really upset.
no, I didn't call
He
him
hates being
Hagrid. I didn't
compared
call him
to,
Hagrid. I
Harry
didn't
Potter
call him
characters.
Hagrid.
No, I know. But an instant ban in his chat is comparing him to somebody.
Aberforth over here, bro.
Actually, yeah. He does
Goat
have a shorter
fucker,
beard.
like-
In Dallas. Hey. You went to Azkaban.
There's
for
your Harry
experimenting
Potter
on-
reference, I guess. You're Aberforth.
We're screwed? I don't think so.
We're screwed. I thought we conquered death. How are we screwed?
I don't think, you know what? I
We're immortal, motherfucker. Like,
used to
what?
be that guy, dude.
I used to be that guy.
I used to be the guy that walked around and said how screwed we were all the time, and I believe.
He doesn't say that
Oh.
anymore.
He's no longer the Doomer
He's
Paul.
no CPAP just fixed him right up, you know?
He
I
sure
still
did.
say it. I'm not saying I never say it,
What the fuck?
but I don't necessarily believe that.
I just say it out of habit. Like,
I think that there's quite a few paths that give us a hard or soft landing out of some of the things we're facing. I unfortunately do believe a lot of people are going to die in the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years here on this planet.
That's a
lot of
long
people.
time frame.
But
I believe more people will die in the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years than have ever died in a 20, 40, 50 year period before, just by virtue of there being so fucking many more people. Like,
you're still that guy.
I'm one book smarter
I
than
mean,
you.
you can tell me what I
that's all
am
right.
if you want, bro.
You can-
That's
you
how
can
you wanna
have that,
waste
buddy.
Your sentence. You can tell me who I am. I'd kind of take you at your word if you told me that you'd change.
You're a proven liar. You don't think there's people in Norway with Down syndrome. We wouldn't take you at your word for anything, ever. Terrible.
Changed your kind of perspective on things, but you can call me what you want, bro. Once we have control over most new humans' DNA at birth, how long do you think it will be before our descendants are something that we do not recognize as human? It won't be long. Yeah, gene editing is you're not going to put that genie back in the bottle too. China has already claimed to be growing humans.
China has already claimed to be growing humans.
They've already said that they've successfully cloned, and if they are willing to provide the backup for that, like they did, and they say they've only done it once for research purposes, they've done.
What?
China has created the first human monkey chimera
That's not what he
in
said.
2019. No, but this is what
The world's
Googling
first
China.
the world's first genetically altered babies born in China.
Yes. Nope.
Okay. Scientist claims. A Chinese scientist claims that he has helped create the world's first genetically edited babies. That's not... Is that a clone, though? In research that would be illegal if carried out in most countries. His team said they altered the embryos of 7 couples undergoing fertility treatment. One successful pregnancy resulting from this treatment resulted in twin girls born earlier this month that scientists claim were naturally resistant to HIV.
He does love China a lot lately, especially given when this video came out. Several
Scientists,
months after Three Body Problem came out, which is his obsession.
a U.S. scientist also confirmed that he took part in the work in China. But this kind of gene editing is banned in his home country because the DNA changes can pass to future generations and risk harming other genes. There is no independent confirmation of the claim, and it has not been published in a journal where it would be vetted by other experts. He revealed it on Monday in Hong Kong to one of the organizers of an international conference on gene editing. I feel a strong responsibility that it's not just to make a first, but to also make it an example. Society will decide what to do next. But this isn't cloning. He didn't clone a kid, right?
I mean, cloning in the sense of like using frog DNA on dinosaurs to bring them back. Not a one-to-one clone.
Jiangqiu genome editing incident. This is what Paul's talking about. Rejections from peer-reviewed journals. Scientific works are normally published in peer-reviewed journals, and he failed to do so regarding the birth of his gene-edited baby. This was one of the grounds on which he was criticized. It was later reported that he did submit 2 manuscripts, which were both rejected mainly on ethical issues. The first manuscript was submitted in if it had been published, the publishing process itself would have brought a level of credibility because of the normal scrutiny involved. The data analysis would have been vetted. So we don't actually know, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say this happened. I don't see how does Paul represent that again?
I forgot.
Our descendants are something that we do not recognize as human. Yeah, gene editing is you're not going to put that genie back in the bottle.
So gene editing. So he's saying gene editing.
China has already claimed to be growing humans.
Is that what they claimed?
They've already said that they've successfully cloned, and if they've
is that what they said? Is that what this is?
No,
they didn't grow or clone. What? China clones human. China create world's first human monkey. Chinese team clone human embryos. I want an actual pushing. This is all from the same thing we were talking about in 2019.
Yeah, the human monkey chimera and the baby. Read that. What does the headline say?
What website is
Full
this?
Metal
Even?
Alchemist.
Yeah.
Screen Rant probably.
A joint research from China and the U.S. created the world's first embryo that was part human, part monkey as a source for organ transplants. Okay, can we take a second and talk about what a clone actually is? Because I feel like none of these are clones.
CNN reports it also. MIT Technology Review reports it. Nature.com.
Yeah, but this isn't them cloning humans.
They're growing human embryos in humanized kidneys in pig embryos.
Yeah, but that's not what... Right, but they're not cloning humans. That's like a thing where they can grow organs on like mice and shit.
Wikipedia just talks about how human cloning is a 1-to-1 process.
So it doesn't make any sense. Whatever. The point is, yeah, this is stupid. Paul's misrepresenting this.
Are willing to provide the backup for that like they did. And they say they've only done it once.
They didn't provide the backup.
It's for research purposes. Yeah. They've done it probably 100,000 times.
No.
And the United States has probably done it.
He doesn't understand the story, I feel.
It's just something that's going to happen.
And so what? What does that mean? What does that have to do with like usurping evolution? Wouldn't that like speed up evolution?
I'm not saying China has some big vats where they're growing humans. I'm saying that China several years ago claimed to have mapped the human genome and cloned the first human.
That's not what they said, right? And I feel, isn't the human genome already mapped?
I'm pretty sure I read in the God Delusion that we had mapped the human genome.
Or were mapping it. Okay, I want to see China. So China is part of this. So we're all mapping the state of completion.
We have mapped 92% of it according to that Wikipedia article.
I want to see one thing on here that says, but China did it first. Did China map the human genome before the Human Genome Project?
The United States was the majority.
I know, but I just want to find something that Paul possibly could have misconstrued. I just need to know, like, he's just dumb and misinterpreting something and he's not making it up. I just need to know that. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is he making it up, or is he like getting confused about different things, right? We already know that he's not being on it. Like, it's not truth what he's saying.
The first available rough draft assembly of the genome was completed by the Genome Bioinformatics Group at the University of California, Santa Cruz in 2000.
China applied to join the Human Genome Project, and that was approved in 1999. Genetic resource collection, identification of genes related to hereditary diseases.
Our favorite Reformed Catholic Bishop Bill Clinton and Tony Blair had announced their rough draft of the first available copy in 2000. Rabbi, not Bishop.
I don't get
whatever.
So he doesn't even know what he's talking about. I don't even know what that has to whatever.
The Democrats did it, so we hate it.
And it was a big hullabaloo because scientists went fucking nuts. But if they've done it once, they've done it 100 times. And if they've done it 100 times, they've done it at least 10,000 times.
You know,
It's
If you do something
common
once-
knowledge that if you do it once, you've secretly done it 100 times. But if you've done it 100 times, you've done it 10,000 times.
You can't do something once and then also have done it 100,000 times. What world does he live in?
He's saying that if you tell people you did it once, you've secretly done it a bunch of times. Like the new advancements that they reveal to us, they've had for years.
Years? Like
oceans of time.
And the United States has done it too. People are just like, they think that the United States and the military-industrial complex shares with them everything that they've got, every technological breakthrough that they're exploiting as soon as it happens.
Okay. Are we done with the talk of eugenics, you think?
Yeah.
Like they really think that on the internet, they're going to get on their Twitter one day and it's going to say like breaking. Gene editing creates super soldiers.
Do they or do you? Is that what you think?
CNN
that don't get tired and don't need to eat or sleep for days.
Do you know how the orcs first came to be?
There were elves once.
One day you're going to get on Twitter and see that Elon Musk made the fighting Uruk-hai and then like we're all fucked.
I actually wouldn't be surprised.
Like, I know. That's really not that far off from like what's going to happen probably anyways.
No.
Is Drone Army really that far removed from genetically modified orcs? I mean,
you think they're going to tell you that?
GMOs.
Yeah.
If you want to have an idea of where you stand technologically, take a look at, well, like, let's say I'm a normal guy, but I'm rich as fuck, right? So money's not really an object, okay? What is the most kind of like, name me the like 3 big high-tech things that you know I would have, right? Some big technology stuff, right?
I don't care. This is so retarded. Paul's an idiot. Fuck you, Paul. Why are you talking out of your ass? You don't know what you're talking about. Every video we watch now, there's just some new level of you being full of shit. You have a lot to answer for, buddy. Start with Anne Frank. Start with that. Show us the proof. I want to see. I'm still waiting for evidence that you've cast one no confidence ballot. Let's go. Come on, buddy. And we are going to watch the Project 2025 stream. We'll record that in a couple days and post it after. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. Whoever watched, thank you for doing so.
Thank you, Spino and his alts.